Aw.
By your command.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Getting Down with Dave C. And my homie, JT Kirk.
Hey, good evening.
How we doing?
Staying dry. It's rained for like 18 hours straight now. So out where I'm at, just happy not to be drenched or flooded.
Yeah, and I kicked on the AC today.
Ooh,
it hit 90.
Definitely
man.
not here.
It hit 90, and I was thinking, how's old Mark and JT up in the Siberian part of North America?
Barely above freezing and a crap ton of rain.
Did you
like Wakanda in wet season level rain?
We got rain down here, and there was a video of Miami. There was like a flooded street down in Miami, like really bad.
Well,
on the I-95.
It's Miami. I mean,
yeah, and I hadn't seen that though. Like it was like flooded. You know what I mean? Right on I-95. Really weird video. It was right next to the one of the police stations there. It was just really weird. It was like on top of the road. They didn't show much of the video, so I couldn't tell like if it was like just really, really weird. But did you get part of that ice storm, or
further north than me? Yeah,
Ontario. Was that on your side, or is that Edmonton on your side?
Oh, Edmonton's way to the west. Ontario's out by me. Yeah,
that's what I thought. So I kind of had that right, sort of like Montreal. I can never remember where Montreal. That's east, right?
Montreal's more east. Yeah, more closer to like New York.
That's what I was thinking. So I kind of had my geography somewhat correct in a fairly decent area of each city. But anywho, hey, we're doing something called Black Panther comics.
We are. You wouldn't know it, but
you wouldn't know
there we are.
It's kind of like people were thinking, do these guys know they're live? Yes, we are live, and we are going to do this. So let me add that to stage. And remember this one from last week?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
for you, Corsair on a strafing run.
From the Sudanese Air Force. By the way. Yeah. All right. I have no comment on that. I have no idea. I imagine they have some planes, right? And
sure.
Maybe.
I don't really know much about that area of the world back in the 70s, but I know lately it hasn't been good for about 25 years. So
no.
Can't imagine it was all sunshine and snowflakes then either.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to be around there too much these days. But all geopolitics aside, hey, we didn't write it. That's where he is, right?
Yep.
Remember, he's trying to get back home still, right? Old T'Challa. And he pulls an okie doke on these guys and says,
yeah,
it's kind of funny. Like, you know what? I need a ride. This Jeep ain't getting me there because they're just trying to shoot at me. Right? So that wasn't working.
Right.
He said, I'm just going to give up and then kick their ass and take their plane.
Wouldn't these guys like help him because they know who he is? Because he's kind of from the area at this point.
He blew up the whole movie set and stuff, right? So he's kind of like a fugitive. You remember? He did some un-T'Challa type stuff. And
he set off the special effects. Everything else allegedly was beyond his control.
Well, yeah, he blew the whole damn thing up pretty much, right? It was pretty bad.
All the special effects all at once, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, and we kind of thought that people would have got hurt. It was something like he wouldn't normally do, but he's really, really, really mad these days. Like, he doesn't give a damn about much of anything. He just wants to get home, right? He hit that point.
Including Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, blowing shit up, and he just didn't really care. And he was trying to get away, and they were shooting at him with the plane. He said, "You know what? I'm just gonna let him take me." But we got this covered. This world shall die. Old Jakara there. He mutated as we knew he would, but they didn't. They had a chance to take him out. Remember this? And the little Dr. Good, who were all family, Black Panther family, right? They're all part of they're leaders in their own right? We're not quite sure how they are, but they just are. They're part of the cult family. Remember, everybody there. And we were like, well, they had a chance to take him out. They decided not to. They subdued him, and they had him laid out on a table. And the doc kid wanted to figure out a way to help him instead of just deleting him, shall we say, right? Hey, Tim.
Which we knew was a mistake from the moment we saw it.
Yeah, from Black Sheep, exactly. Yeah, and I was kind of like, yeah, we've seen this before. They're not going to delete them. We know they're not. So let's figure out how Kirby's gonna take this to the next level. And of course, oh boy, jumps up, right?
Right.
So the cover's not much going on here, except that we know
kind of boring. Yeah, to be honest,
kind of
not
boring.
Their best.
Nothing going on because we already know what's gonna happen, right? T'Challa is gonna have to fight this dude one way or another. There was one little funny thing, though. I hope I catch it. I don't like to take too many notes because it distracts me. But unless it's really, really important, something I want to rant on or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing to really rant.
I got you. Yeah.
So the intro here gives us a little clue as to about some of the lore that we talked about of Wakanda. We were taking shots and swipes on not a lot of technology there. We did get to see the car. We saw a car, right? And their weapons. Not a lot of tech going on. We'll see some tech here as a little shout out to it. But there's a history of some of the things that they talk about. I forget what they call it. It's lore, Wakanda lore, right? That there's going to be a creature or something. So he says Edis is written in the sacred records. So it's kind of following on precedent or history, right? I can't think of the exact word. Stories that follow along a culture over the years, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys, I can't think.
Like myth or legend. But,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mythological legend, mythological lore. So this creature's fitting into their mythological lore and history. But in the meantime, old boy's kind of whips some ass here, and he does so. Goes right into it. He doesn't waste any time with these two dudes, although we missed the whole part where they actually land. It was a little confusing. I had to go back for a minute, right? And so these guys are dressed up in like winter gear. I was a little confused.
And they're supposed to be under the flag of the Sudanese Air Force, but
yeah,
I mean, they don't look very Sudanese to me.
No, they look like they're from North Pole.
Yeah, I was going to say they've got their extremely cold weather gear on.
Yeah, Disney ruined it. Disney would have done this. You're right. I was like, I would love to go back in time. Like we've mentioned this before and just ask certain questions because we doubt what they do. I mean, we're reviewing, we're having fun with it. Right. But sometimes JT, we just kind of wonder, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. why did you do that? I don't, is it because they're pilots and it's cold up in the air? These are full on winter coats. So I was like, I had to go back a couple pages and recap myself. And because one of the things that I really caught me was T'Challa's face here. He doesn't have the mask on and it doesn't have that big old thing on his forehead. So that was kind of cool. So we can see it, his face in a regular pose, right?
Right.
Anywho, he jumps up and just snatches these guys. Apparently, these are the pilots or guard, right? They land the plane, and he does tell us T'Challa, ruler of the Panther cult, is in no mood to tolerate delay, and he grabs these dudes. So these are the pilots, and he womps them a couple times, right? And he's really steadfast on trying to get home. And they're trying to stop. Oh, right. This guy actually says stand fast.
Yeah.
And he's not having any of it, is he? He just proceeds to whip up on him really quick. And he really nails this guy here with a right hand. He probably took the worst of it right there. Mm-hmm. This guy.
Now it looks like this dude's left hand is covering up where the hammer would be. So that's going to really hurt if he pulls the trigger. Just observing how it's drawn.
Yeah, his fingers all the way wrapped around. These guns are really, really pew small typey things, right?
There's no trigger guard.
Mercenaries. Yeah, but they're actually supposed to be from the Sudanese Air Force. So that is a little confusing there, FKH 2005. I feel you on that. And,
so in one picture, there's no trigger guard. In the next picture, there is.
Yeah, the pistol is really, really small. But true to form and classic, whenever he's in a fight, the bad guy's like talking a lot of trash. Right? It's like some Japanese anime, and I brought this up before, especially like One Punch Man. Which you have to kind of watch a couple of those episodes to get into it, because the first character can really throw you off. It's a crab dude in like diapers or something. It's really like, what the?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, and I didn't either. I was like, what the? But you get through that one first character, and it gets way better, way better. But the bad guys just love to talk a lot of shit. But T'Challa's not the one not to talk back, right? So this guy is like, you're going to go to prison. You're like, yeah, that ain't going to happen.
Right.
But this dude's like, well, I'm just going to shoot you. Like, what?
Sensible course of action if someone's trying to cause you physical harm and steal your airplane.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is a trigger guard with extra long fingers. They're a little weird. It's a little weird drawing. The whole uniform stuff is just weird because it's the desert. But this guy's face is kind of stressed out. He's a little stressed. Right? So he takes some shots at him, but oh boy, it probably shouldn't have, because now he put the mask on, JT, and you know what happens when he puts the mask on.
Yeah,
now.
Bad things happen to other people.
I mean, he was already whipping them pretty good beforehand.
To shoot the Black Panther is to strike at the wind. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Building up that character. Yeah, he's in battle mode now.
A little full of himself, though.
Well, he put the mask on, so he's in full raging fury, they called it. And to be caught by the Panthers to struggle without hope. He loves talking shit too, dude. I love it. I think it's great. But it's a little odd here. And
Birdman? Sleep well, Birdman.
I guess that's a shot at him being an airplane pilot or something. Bird guy. I'm not sure about that one.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, and it was Africa in the 70s. So, he says he's going to do it mercifully, but I don't know, man. He cracks him pretty good. He knocks him out cold.
Right.
I guess that's merciful. I mean, he could have run his neck or something, but he's not going to do that. So, you know what I mean?
Stranding someone in the desert is not very merciful.
Well, they have a car, I guess, if they can get it started. And
yeah, still.
The humor here is, it's kind of deep humor, but he's really thinking a lot here. Kirby's like, yeah, those guys are going to have a lot to say when they wake up, but I won't be around to hear it. So, like, okay. So, yeah, he jumps in the plane, and as we know, he can fly anything. Remember all the way issue number 1?
Yep.
Or was it issue number 2 when I was like,
well, even though he like has no technology of his own in Wakanda,
that we know
he can just fly anything.
Right. We have no clue as to what they have back home, and they haven't shown us anything but a car with like a metal lift on it, right?
Right.
Because they said they couldn't even get from town to town. Remember, they had to use the drums, but that was because they were being traditional. We figured that out later, because then they do have a car. And I'm like, they don't have a cell phone? Back then, I don't know, means of communication. But yeah, so that's where Kirby, like a page later, said, well, because he can fly everything. It's just because he can. Remember that?
Right.
Yeah. So he makes a comment about Ngasi, the old guy back at Wakanda, and I guess that's just kind of like a build up to him before he gets there, right? But the plane's pretty cool, right? I mean, it fits.
It has inverted Ukrainian Air Force colors.
Yeah,
is there blue in the center, yellow on the outside? But well, hey, you can understand if you're confused.
And if you really read some of this stuff, coincidentally, not by timing on my part, because you'd asked me before, did I choose the comic on that weekend for something that was going on? And I was like, no, not intentionally. We're going to see a lot of that in this episode. I mean, this issue. A lot of the dialect, a lot of the rhetoric kind of fits on what's going on, depending on how you look at it, right?
Right.
I won't say, because you kind of mentioned one of the countries here who will no doubt deliver a lecture on misguided rulers who crusade in lands outside their own.
Yes. Oh, and hail Deadman.
Deadman!
Hope you're enjoying your vacation, sir.
Yeah. Looks like you guys are...
you earned it. Hope the miss is doing well.
Unicorn poo on the way there. I saw that picture. What did that taste like, by the way? Was that any good? Oh, can you hear me? You're in lurk mode. How was the unicorn?
He's in lurk mode. Yeah, we'll leave him alone. Maybe.
All right.
Maybe.
Okay. I mean, what the hell is unicorn poo anyway? Is it candy? Is it like hard candy? Chocolate? I'm assuming it's chocolate, right? JT?
I don't know.
Oh.
I really couldn't say. Nothing that comes naturally on a tree or anything. I think what it means is when you eat that stuff that you're rooting for Auburn.
I think it's like glittery chocolate or something.
Yeah, it's a pro Auburn fan food.
So anyway, but the artwork here though, so it unlike some of the BSG thing, it fits. It looks like it can fit in there, right?
Right.
And then this little square one, it's
a better airplane than a lot of the crap we got in BSG.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, really, it doesn't show much of the airplane in any one shot, but
no, you just get like
it at least works.
Well, you get he's not using I know you hate it, joystick, right? This is a double-handed controller. Pretty fancy tech controller compared to the plane. I mean, it's not a Wakandan tech plane. It's just a Sudanese old school Jetfire. You know, nothing too fancy about it.
World War II Navy fighter.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, basically. And he's like, "Hey guys, thanks for the plane." So he's still talking trash to those guys. Kind of funny, but I guess he's just
So,
kind of filling some time here, right? Filling some space.
moments later, heading due south, 300 miles, time of arrival, maybe 40 minutes. If he doesn't run into unexpected opposition, how does he know that? Right? Because he was lost and disoriented even when they captured him. You know what I mean? Where did he get his position?
I guess maybe he got his bearings down at the film set. He figured. I guess he kind of figured out where they were and where he was. He knows he's in Sudan now. He definitely knows he's in Sudan. Where I guess he just knows from that geographical area to head south somewhere because he knows where he's at. Right? We still don't know where Wakanda is. We haven't seen a map. Right.
Right.
So we have no clue where Wakanda is. So meanwhile, back at the Panther cult, old boy is still stomping around, and we get our onesies guys. Gotta love the onesies guys with the massive leg. I mean, those dudes really must work out.
Right.
And Juvie back here, he's just kind of hanging around old Ngasi instead of helping. So I still don't know what his role is. I guess he's just like a cabana boy or something, right? He doesn't do anything. Right? JT, what has he done? He just goes get stuff, right? He's like one of the biggest dudes there. And I was always said, put him in uniform, let him go kick some ass. He looks like he could kick some ass, right?
Right.
But nope. He's like in a robe now. Some blue robe. He changes clothes like every damn. Anyway,
dude's flying pretty quick in that aircraft. By the way, 443 miles an hour.
Yeah. He's rolling in that old plane.
Yeah.
Well, it's hot. It's Africa. It's hot as shit there, and you're going to be wearing shorts and short sleeves. Yeah, even they're not full on military, but they're kind of military cop type military. Whatever.
Yep.
They're like the police. These guys, kind of like police.
Heavily paramilitary almost.
Yeah. And they're so Juvie's complaining he's gone. He broke out of the chamber. Like, yeah, duh. And then even Agassi says it here. JT's like, yeah, well, I tried to warn him.
Yeah. So he throws them under the bus.
Yeah. I give him credit for that one. That was kind of funny. Kirby writing that in there. Because he was kind of being an a-hole a little bit last issue. But they always like to make comments about the power of the bad guys. It's like, yeah, we know he can kick butt, but the cursed one has the power of 50 men. It's classic comic book writing. Yeah. I'm not on coffee today, so I'm trying to power through here. Because there's some good stuff and some not so good stuff in this issue.
Yeah.
So there's a so he calls himself militia. There you go. So they're like you said, a paramilitary police. I don't think they really have like cops there, right?
I don't
Not really.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? It's not very well fleshed out at all. So I won't assume anything. Maybe they've got like the British bobbies that don't carry any guns normally. They ask you nicely to send yourself to jail for free thinking.
Stop. Or I'll say stop again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like really mad about the whole situation. And he's kind of complaining here. He's like, we should have just disobeyed the whole ruling family and destroyed that thing.
Yeah. But you didn't. You cat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's what Ngassi says.
You P word. You didn't.
Too late now. I'm Captain Hindsight.
Yeah. You should have picked the winning lotto numbers and left a year before this thing ever happened, but you didn't do that either.
Yeah, I'm still kind of figuring out what his role is here. This dude, this juvie guy. I don't understand. Is he's not in the ruling family. He's just a helper.
To
He
help
gets
the plot along. That's what he's there for.
Yeah. I'm still thinking one of these days he's gonna have something's gonna happen, right?
Yes.
That he's gonna bust out one of these days. But we'll see. And guys, he's like, oh, he's all doomed. He's doomed out, but we must do all we can with cool heads and stout hearts. And then we get to see the mound of vibranium that apparently if you get too close, it'll do this to you. So I've always kind of wondered, wouldn't they have like a built some kind of structure around it? How big is this damn
Maybe
mound?
yeah like some kind of force field or concertina wire. Something.
Like a freaking 20-30 foot wall, no entrance, my man,
right,
and they have like 20 guards around it on each side.
Yep.
But that's just me.
A moat, a whole bunch of stuff
with sharks
with crocodiles. Yeah,
sharks with freaking lasers on them. Yeah. And
now what's really funny, if you scroll down a little further.
I thought I was wanting to pick up something here. Alert your neighbors. Yeah, I think everybody pretty much knows this dude's running around town right now. That's what I was gonna. Yeah, lady, we got it. We're looking right at him. Who are we gonna go tell? What are you gonna do about it? Right? It's kind of funny. And they just kind of push the plot along with the dialect here, the rhetoric, And what were you pointing at, JT?
Oh, it's the next one down.
I did want to point out his face has gotten a little more shapen to look more, you know what I mean? It wasn't just like, it's not just a blob. It's more thing like now, right?
Yep.
And it's got a little more detail in the eyes. It's got a more stern look, kind of like the robot from good God. Not War of the Worlds, but the one when he came down, Planet of the dang it, I can't think of it. Anyway, where they land and it has the robot and they shoot the guy and the robot comes out in DC, takes over.
Mm-hmm.
Keanu Reeves did the remake for it. Somebody help me, jeez.
Oh. Yeah. I know what you mean, but it's escaping me too. I'm drawing a total blank.
Yeah, not War of the Worlds. Jesus Christ. Come on, sci-fi guys, movie people. What is it? The saucer lands. The guy comes out. They shoot him. The robot comes out. And anyway, that's going to drive me nuts the rest of the night. But hey, we get a plant. Look, see the plant?
We do. We do indeed. Not much of one, but it's there.
So I don't get any monitors, but I get my reoccurring plant, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, drink some water there. But we get some pew pew military stuff going on.
Well, but it looks like funny French armored cars.
Yeah, and
the Cold War.
And the guys driving it aren't even in like gear. They're just in their onesies, in their berets. They're with and all of them look like they just walked out of the gym.
Right.
So you gotta say, hey, they are in shape. I give them that. But now it's a combat area, and I'm like, yeah, man, that was probably like 2 issues ago. It was a combat area.
Right.
This dude's been rampaging for like at least 2 issues, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think more than 3 at this point.
Yeah, right. To Karatu, Veratu, Niktu. That's what they need. Stop this dude. So they unload on him, and even these weapon grades, I guess that's cannon or bullets. Yeah, They're not working, as we kind of knew they wouldn't. But and he just unloads on him, right? He just like The guy barely gets out of there in time. I was like, no, he's not going to fry these people, right? So that they didn't. They got away with that once. We've seen the one guy who bought the farm in the burning plane, right? A couple of issues ago, which was surprising, right?
Yeah.
The bad guy. Remember those guys? And so they do show them getting out just in time, right? So that's kind of classic stuff. But the power from this dude here, man, he just burns this thing to the ground like it's nothing.
I think I found the vehicle they're using.
Hey, you found it?
Yeah. I
got
did.
A picture? You want to share it?
I do. Here, I'll put it in chat on
or you can
StreamYard.
share screen.
Oh, well, I didn't want to mess up your flow there.
Well, I want to see it. Oh.
If you go down to the gallery, down at the bottom of the article, you'll see exactly what it is.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious. Good gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, so
it's yeah. Oh, are you going to share it out?
Huh?
Are you going to share it out?
I could. Do I have it? Yeah, I sure can.
So folks can see it. This vehicle that the Wakandan militia is using, it's a Panhard VCR TT 6x6.
Oh, I can't. I have to take the other one off.
Oh, you know what? Let me share then.
Yeah, throw it up
this
here.
one right here. Let me know and you can see it.
Oh, I have to remove the other one. Screw it. I'll just do it. Yeah, there it is.
There you go. That's exactly what that is.
Funny, dude. That's great. Yeah, it wouldn't let me overlay the other screen. So
yeah, the Panhard VCR TT.
Wow. That's funny.
So I don't know if Panhard is that like pan and scan hard. Anyway, used in Argentina, Iraq, Mexico, and the UAE. Currently to this day.
I almost kicked you from the studio instead of that screen. Oh. You need to do that to take it off. Stop sharing. But I can add the other one.
There you go. Yep, yeah, you're back on the comic.
Yep. That's great, dude. Thanks for showing that. So yeah, they're still trying to stop him. It's not working. And meanwhile, in the upper floor of the Wakandan administrative building. So yeah, I guess Juvy's just like he's an admin guy, right?
Oh boy, the admin building.
Yeah, the admin building. It's funny. I thought that was funny, but that's what they called it. And you look at his artwork though, man. Look at all the design in the doors. And this is what I do. I always point it out pretty much every issue, but he takes the time. That's not lazy. That's not being lazy. He took the time to do that. I mean, it's just lines, and different stuff. Nothing spectacular, right?
Right.
But if you look up here, the little cogs, the points, and the door, he took the time to do it, right? So
yeah. Now, I do take issue with this internal controversy that Joshua has because he's like, yeah, I knew there were going to be risks, but to violate and delete him would have violated my oath as a doctor. Well, you weren't acting as a physician in that capacity, now were you?
No, and he wasn't. And you only claimed him as a patient because you stopped him from rampaging the whole city.
Right.
And you stopped him from doing what the mythical legend, right? Thanks for that too, by the way, because now I can say it, is that if he gets the vibranium mound, he's going to destroy the whole damn Earth. He's going to go nuclear Godzilla.
Right.
Times a billion, apparently. Right?
Like some kind of a like reptilian expert with a medical degree is like, I could have stopped Godzilla, but it would have been against my, ethics as a veterinarian.
Well,
Like,
Ngassi
come
makes it
on.
work. Well,
Come on.
Ngassi really gives it to him because he's like, yeah, but you're also a member of the ruling family. You're also a
Right.
Black Panther,
Right.
kind of, and junior, right? You're like not the Black Panther, but a ruling Black Panther.
Right.
So I guess that's just a morality thing he tried to introduce here, but Ngassi gives it to him here pretty good. You're a member of the ruling family, dude.
Yeah.
You know? And I love the equipment back here, that detail that I was talking about. The microscope one, little things like that. And his kick-ass bushy eyebrows. Those are like very few times you'll say that eyebrows are kick-ass, but he's got some kick-ass eyebrows. Hey, Fanty. What's up, man? What's going on, dude? We were dealing with some moralistic stuff here between old Ngassi and this dude. They didn't take old bad guy out when they had the chance.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
If you know this dude's going to do harm, by you not stopping that from happening, aren't you doing harm to others?
Well, again, not just running around hurting somebody, destroying the whole world. Harm.
I mean, that's a few people.
It's a little.
That's a few people.
And considering he actually is part of the ruling family in Wakanda, part of one of the ruling families, right? It's a surprising decision, but they had to come up with something because we know we have to get to the fight, right?
Yeah. Yep.
But they also need to come out of this complex conversation one way or another. They have to come to some kind of conclusion other than, well, I'm a Dr. Jim, I can't do it. Or no, that's Scotty. I'm a Dr. Jim. You know? Damn it, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor. So they do have a way out of
Jim,
this.
I'm a doctor, not a panther.
Yeah. No, you are both. Anyway,
right.
Sorry. So in the meantime, while all this was going on, old boy had the time to come up with a whole way of fixing the problem and taking care of the guy at the same time, Jakara. So he's got an answer for it. He pulls out a little Abner Little. Remember him? One of our other favorite characters who always had something for the most part. 99% of the time, he always had something, right? He never drank the water, though. What an idiot. But anyway, you remember that?
I remember, and this starts to annoy me a little bit here because, well, more than a little. No pun intended on little there.
No pun. Hey, pun intended. I take it. It's funny.
This is the answer to the terror. Its discovery was unbelievably simple, but it works. I'll stake my life on it. Okay, why didn't you keep the gas mask on your predator dude a little bit harder?
Thank you.
Because you had this miracle 2 minutes after he storms out. Come on.
Because Kirby's caught in a trap here. He's got to have we want the fight. We got to see the fight now, right? T'Challa's on his way home. This guy's rampaging for like 3 issues, 2-3 issues, and they can't stop him. And this guy's just going to come up with a stick him with a some kind of needle thing here, and it's going to work. So it obviously they're either going to rob us from the fight, right? Because I did read it. Oh, I forgot to ask you. Have you read this today?
No, I have not.
Okay. So I won't spoil.
In keeping with tradition, I have not read for tonight on this series.
Shuri, who does not exist. Oh yes, Fancy. We're not even going to go there, but that's funny. Shuri, who? Yeah, we don't talk about that here.
They existed, but they never existed.
They never existed.
To use a cloppy, they existed, but they never existed.
it never existed. Like that one episode of Voyager that he went on.
Deep Space Nine. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought it was a Voyager one that Cloudy
Oh, it was
went
Deep
off
Space
on.
Nine. It was
Deep Space
definitely.
Nine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I
the
know
one that
exactly
he said
which
it doesn't
episode.
exist. It doesn't exist. He refused to acknowledge that it existed. That was Deep Space Nine?
Yeah, they existed, but they never existed.
No, he went on like a 20-minute rampage about an episode that he refused to even talk about anymore and said it never existed. I'm pretty sure it was for one of the Voyager ones. But anyway.
No, it was season 5, episode 22, Children of Time, Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never heard Clobby rant like that, man. Wow. And wink, wink. That's how you rant, by the way. Right, JT?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how you rant. If you're gonna rant, just do it. Right? Don't be a wuss. But anyway, so yeah, this guy, Mbatu, whatever his name is, I forgot his name anyway. He's a young guy, but yeah, he just automatically comes up with, so audience license is one thing, but it's like, okay, so now you're in a double loop trap. We've got to get the fight, and now you have to use this thing too, right? Or
you know what I think is going to happen? Black Panther's going to start fighting. He's going to start losing. Joshua's going to come in, do the stabby stab with the happy stuff, trying to stay out of YouTube's line of fire there, and that it's going to weaken Purple Hulk just enough so that way Black Panther can defeat him.
Oh, okay. Well, let's find out. So I'm not going to say it. Well, I want to say something for this, but anyway, no, and guys, is still giving him crap. Yeah, man, in life among other people too, Joshua. So he's still giving him crap, and the other family comes in, the other three. And did you notice they have different colored belts? I didn't notice this before.
Oh, the red, orange, yellow. It was weird. It was very weird.
Yeah, so I guess they have their own. They have their own uniforms: green, lime, yellow, but different belts too. Anyway, just something I noticed. But the older guy goes, "Are we really talking about research right now?" I started laughing. Yeah, there you go, dude. That was funny. That was really funny. You know, it's like, come on, man. Are we really talking about this right now? And she's like, don't you know what's going on? Yeah, dude, they know what's going on.
And for all the stuff that they drew out in this particular little scene here, her glasses look terrible.
Glasses?
If you actually stop to look at those white glasses in that shot.
Oh, he's a dude. Those are his lab glasses.
It looks like a woman the way they have it drawn.
The way he looks kind of like the lunch lady.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, with the horn-rimmed glasses.
Horn-rimmed and the hairnet.
Yeah. Yep. So
Yeah.
maybe they didn't draw so well because you had me fooled on who that even was.
Yeah, that's Joshua.
Thought this was some kind of lab assistant.
No.
Okay.
It's the face threw you off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other Panthers come in. They're just kind of really laying into both of them, especially Joshua. And he's like, "Hey, the ruling family demands an explanation. Joshua, have you learned something we should know?" And then he's very weird here. It's like something good, something very bad.
Spit it out.
Yeah, give us the bad news first. Shit, who cares? Does it matter right now? Just say it. Are we really doing? What do you want to hear first?
Right.
And Gassi goes back to what I couldn't get out with the prophecy, legacy, mythical legends. He brings it up here. This is why I was trying to bring it up earlier, because that's part of the lore of what's going on, the doom prophecy. So they're kind of know this is supposed to happen or something, right? That's what I was trying to hint at earlier. That if Jakara gets to the mound, this is a cataclysmic event, right?
And weather's getting really bad here, by the way. If I suddenly drop, apologies, but out of my control.
Oh, no worries.
From an intensive study of microscopic samples, it's found that he is a generator of sonic vibrations. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a vibrator or generator of sonic vibrations. Right. I'm not. Okay, don't clip that.
You said that.
Yeah.
You're a vibrator.
Yeah. Don't
Yes,
clip
Fancy.
that.
The moral problem was silly. It was silly.
Yeah.
It was very silly, to be honest with you, because it didn't matter when you know they're not going to kill the guy while he's laying on a table. Anyway,
I mean, I have vocal cords. I'm a living generator of sonic vibrations.
I tell you,
what's the dude going to do? Is he going to go and lay a huge fart on here or something, or what?
Well, if I eat 3 double cheeseburger sliders from White Castles, I am a massive sonic vibrator generator.
Yeah.
I can guarantee it.
This is just silly. It's just, I don't know.
Well, when the hell did he have time to do all this?
Oh, in the 2 minutes that he had him sedated on the table.
Yeah, so it gets worse.
Are we really talking about research right now?
Yeah. So he figures it out, but even though it's a prophecy that will destroy the whole earth. So this isn't because when he gets to the mound, that's where he's going to draw all the power from, right? I mean, he's already strong, but if he gets to that huge ass mound, that's the problem. Boom, that's what could happen, right? That's pretty good artwork.
I have a hard time believing that could actually happen for scientific reasons.
I mean,
I really have a hard time believing that. However, we'll just go with it. Sure.
It would wipe out all of Wakanda, that's for sure, right?
Possibly.
And maybe half the continent of Africa?
No.
Most of Africa?
No, not with the sonic frequency.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, there would be a limit on how much energy you could actually transmit that way.
Well, that's why he needs the mount. That's because they're saying that's the vibranium is so powerful. That's what could happen, right? So we're supposed to believe that.
Right.
And they're still just standing there talking.
Well, they should all put sound canceling headphones on, and then they'll all be fine.
Right. Right. So Josh was like, but fortunately, none of us will be alive to see those tremors crack the world open like a cosmic egg.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. Sorry. Just the writing. Right. The writing was funny. We're going to crack open the whole world like an egg. That's horrible. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but the world's not an egg. It's like an inverse egg, right? It's got a bunch of molten hard stuff in the middle.
Yes.
And air's on the outside, so you're not going to crack shit like an egg. Sorry, but no.
Yeah. Fanty was talking about how using the stuff to stop claw. Well, this guy has this this injector pen thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're just still all around talkie, right? It's I'm kind of like so he's telling the good and the bad part. We already know what the bad part is, right?
Yes.
So, but for how would you say, for hype's sake, he has to tell us, the reader, could destroy the whole world. That's the whole point of this, right? It doesn't look good now when you're reviewing it, but that's why it's obvious now why they did that, because he's just trying to make it seem really, really bad, extra bad.
You know what he's going to do, right? The good news is he's got one slim chance to avert this catastrophe. He's going to cancel Purple Hulk on X. I mean, give him an anti-sonic toxin.
Yeah. And he put his war mask on, right?
Yeah.
He's got his mask on. He took the lab shades off, and he's anti-sonic toxin. Anti-sonic toxin. Weird.
Right.
And at that very moment, though, JT, we get some pew pew action to keep us going, right? And then it's not a bad shot of the
that
plane
aircraft
here.
is never going to avoid 3 missiles.
Well, apparently they have bad aim.
Or no aim whatsoever.
Yeah, and
especially because those look like MiGs.
Yeah, he didn't get very far before somebody was on his ass, right? You're in our airspace, man. It's like, well, he didn't have that far to go, did he? Right? So apparently there's a lot of hostile countries between Sudan and Wakanda because he's got, like you said, 3 MiGs on his tail. And RIP to Val Kilmer, Iceman. That sucked.
Yeah, RIP.
And I was sad to hear that, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of these actors and stuff are complete douchebags, but I think he did well over the years, you know. And I've got Willow and a bunch of other ones. So shout out to him. You did good. So yeah, they shoot 3 missiles, all 3 miss. He bobs, he weaves. We get some good plants here. You get some good little action here. It's pretty basic stuff, right?
Yeah.
Flying
although
around.
5-yard line to a touchdown, wouldn't he use like some kind of a soccer reference, not a football reference?
I don't know. I guess, you know, it's Kirby. I like this little it's very simplistic, but I like how it shows T'Challa leaning out the window or leaning out looking, right?
Oh, he's looking down. Yeah, he's not looking out. He's looking down.
Yeah. So while he's flying, it's just a simple little square drawing, but with his eyes, right? Show it may not like seem much. And the more I think about it, the more I like it. It's like, oh, look, it's kind of cool because it shows him looking down, like you said, down outside of the plane, right?
Right.
While he's talking. So Kirby had the forethought to put the whooshing, you know, like it's still moving, but his eyeballs right there could tell that he's looking down. And then you get this one, obviously, you get some time and space, which I always complained about in BSG. He's pretty close to the ground. It looks like it. And then yeah, he really is. He's like barely flying over the water here. And you got like 4 missiles now flying around. Oh no, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4 missiles. And they're shooting bullets. Right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like he's going to get too far here. So I was like, I mean, I kind of knew what was, I mean, I didn't quite remember how he got out of this, but I know you're not going to like it. But
so he's flying down on the deck,
very close to
up the river. He transmits a radio signal on a frequency.
Yeah, right. Fancy.
Oh, you're right. I don't like it. He transmits a radio signal on a frequency only to Wakandan pilots.
Yeah, and he's a U.S. football fan, not an African football fan or EU or European football fan. He's a U.S. football fan. He's not a soccer guy, right? Yeah, dude, this was crazy. But it's crazier is what he says about it, too. So that's coming next. So he flies into the mountain. So like I said, he didn't get very far. So is this not Wakandan territory? I was a little confused. You know what I mean?
This might be a forward base, that it is an airfield them to hide in. My thing is
that's Panther Mountain, though. That's Panther Mountain, and he flies into it.
Well, yeah, true. My sudden disappearance will puzzle those hostile flyboys for months. They'll just have to live with it or forget it. I don't think it's going to puzzle anyone for months when they fly around and they see a giant panther mouth in a mountain.
Thank you. That was a very.
I think they'll figure it out.
I think they figure it out as soon as they saw it happen, right?
Yeah. Like right away.
Yeah, well, they were shooting.
They were
bullets out
right
of it.
on his ass.
Yeah, yeah. So we
Would have
get
been
to
cool
see
to see
some
one of them follow inside.
smash. You like smash up against the mountain or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a cool shot.
Like
One gets
I can't make
in,
it.
two smash.
Yeah, classic Indiana Jones type something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He pulls into the mountain, the other guy kills. Oh, no. Right? One makes
Yes.
it and one doesn't. Right? That's how you do it. One barely gets away and the other one smashes into the top of the mountain. Because we've seen several airplane crashes now. But anyway, we get to see some really advanced technology because they have a whole damn airfield in the mountain with an opening jaw, which is pretty fancy dancy. Right?
Or poor use of defense funding.
Yeah.
That's why they can't afford to have guns. It's because they spent all their money on this hidden airstrip in the mountain.
Well, considering there's no defensive air force to help him out.
Yes.
Which I thought might have happened, was going to happen, right?
Yep.
But because he said Wakandan pilots, that's what I was getting at before. I forgot to mention that. That's why I said it. It's only given to Wakandan pilots, so they're in Wakandan airspace. But
but how does he know what signal and the frequency and all this shit?
Well, they only give them to Wakandan pilots. Remember, he can fly anything, right?
Yep.
But apparently he's the only pilot around.
But the other aircraft would have heard that frequency and possibly tried to duplicate it, eventually opening it. Whatever.
Yeah. And then we get a lot more technology. But he says
he's home from school. He wants a juice box.
Yeah. He made it.
There we go.
He made it, everybody. He made it back to Wakanda. Yay. 10 issues later. Or 9. And then he jumps on the pneumatic car. So more technology.
It runs on farts. It runs on farts.
Yeah, pretty much. And he says it's a short trip right to the office. It's like, wow, it's a short commute.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of technology now, right? Which kind of goes against some stuff earlier, but that's okay.
Now,
he swings into the car and takes
off. When you think of pneumatic, you think of pressured air, right?
Yes.
Is there a giant like plume of flame coming out the back like a jet?
Who knows? It could be air. Could be, I don't know. He's just.
I've never seen just air like anyway.
Yeah.
Come on, Kirby. We got to save this issue.
He jumps in. The whole Panther Mountain thing was kind of rough, but with no other people around. And so he jumps in the old car there, and he's heading into town. But meanwhile, old boy's still setting stuff on fire, right? All the tanks and and people are running around crazy. And I would have. He
doesn't know that any of this vibranium mound crap has happened at all.
Nothing. He knows nada about any of this stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, you're right. There is no place like home. And look what he's coming back to. And so there just seems to be a lot of people around when the militia probably would have evacuated a lot of people from the area. That's just my take, but it's for dramatic effect, so it's okay. Just a lot of fire and people screaming, running around, women with children, stuff like that. It's weird, but
weird.
Yeah, and they're like, Black Panther, where are you? Where is he? We need his mighty arm. This is classic comic writing, right? Build him up. And that guy goes, never mind the civilians. I'm like, what? Wait, what?
The special squad?
What do you mean, never mind the civilians? What are you talking about, dude?
Well, may I recommend that you don't take out your airsoft rifle?
None of your rifles
that you have sitting there in your hand, sir.
Military grade armament doesn't work. So what are you going to do? Go kick him in the hot gonads? Get help the people out of there. It should have said, we can't do a jack shit. Let's get these people out of here. Nope. Screw those people.
And I love this in the bottom right. They put on flame-proof clothing.
Yes. This is kind of cool here.
Yeah. So they grab the Battlestar Galactica blaster pistols.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, we can't miss at this distance. These shells can pierce a battleship and sink it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The BSG blaster pistols are borrowed for this scene.
As you guys could remember, can blow a hole in the side of a whole spaceship.
Yeah, blow a hole in the side of the Battlestar. Anywho.
Well, you think maybe here, okay, all right. The special squad's there. They've got some more weapons. That's kind of cool. All right. They're bringing up everything they've got.
Oh, they're special. All right. If you go to the next panel, they are special. All right.
Until they get their ass kicked.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the militia guy said he's strong enough to beat up 50 of us or more. Right?
No, they didn't use a flamethrower, but they wore heat-resistant material.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want old Jakar to lighten them up, though. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
So he just punches them or kicks them.
Yeah, he dodged him pretty good, didn't he?
Yeah. He kicks him, and then he's gonna do some serious whoop ass on him. He grabs one of the guys here, but we get another surprise, which is little Batman action here. He throws a freeze bomb on him. Nice. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Somebody's doing something here, right? And release all the liquid nitrogen. So apparently they have liquid nitrogen tanks around. Okay, cool. I mean, I guess it'd stop a fire, forest fire, jungle fire, right? It would seem realistic that you would have something like that around with a fully loaded militia surrounded by jungle. And it was a good idea. Let's just freeze his ass.
They say that. I just put it in the private side chat there.
What happened?
All right. I sent you something. All right, everyone. Chill.
Yeah, so they freeze them. Oh, they had a little jet copter there. Yeah, because I don't see it in the chat, the private chat. But
on StreamYards.
Yeah. I don't have you sent it on private chat?
Yeah.
It's not showing up.
Weird. Okay. I've definitely sent it. It shows it's there. Anyway, if you remember Arnold Schwarzenegger. All right, everyone. Chill.
Yeah. So they drop a freeze bomb on his ass. And it's like, well, damn, that's a pretty good idea.
Now, couldn't they just liquid nitrogen him and then shatter him?
That's what I was thinking, right?
Into like 1,000 pieces.
Just now run into him with that big car or a tank or something.
Yeah.
But then I thought it was kind of funny that all four of them were in that little ass copter, especially old girl. I was like, what? This seemed kind of, I just laughed when I saw this picture right here.
Yep.
Because it was just kind of like, what in the hell? All four of them are in there? What's going on? And the person with the pen injector isn't on the ground. So is it just me? Or am I thinking too much here, guys?
Oh, they got to freeze them and then land.
Right, but why do you have?
Do you have to put the guy with the pen in the copter?
Why are any of them in the copter? Couldn't any of them?
Exactly. Why couldn't you just send one of them in the copter and then the other 2 or 3 are in a French APC that you bought?
Well, the funny part is the guy realizes it and says, well, it won't be easy to use the injector on him. And then I thought for a second he'd look over and say, especially since we have it in the damn copter. But that wasn't going to happen. So they have to take the time to land. I know it didn't take long.
Why don't they douse them in the serum from the helicopter?
Well, I guess they had to get close to him, so they had to stop him from getting. He's too hot to get that close, right? And so I guess they froze him because they had to get close to him.
Okay.
His skin. I guess so. I guess earlier he said something that has to be injected through his tough hide, so they'd have to make sure they have to get close enough to get it into him. Oh no, okay, I forgot. When they were doing all the talking about, he also, I might have gone too far with this, but I'll let you know now. There's a special. Josh will put in a special thing into the injector to cover that, JT.
Yep.
Like it.
Yeah,
like
that's
an
fine.
Explosive or
Just,
something.
Do it already.
Yeah.
Kind of my
I
thought.
can't remember if I missed that part or not. I'm sorry if I spoiled it. But
No.
I'm
just getting impatient with them. Like,
yeah, I know.
You froze him. Why are you taking all this time?
So yeah, there should have been the guy standing right there when it happened. And of course, stand aside. There may only be seconds. Up too late. Okay. So how long did it take to land and run over there? Because your dumbasses had the injector in the damn helicopter instead of on the ground waiting to do it.
Yep.
So old boy unfreezes himself, right?
Yeah,
Takes
he
a
thawed
shot
out.
at him.
He thawed out.
He thawed out. And they all have to take cover now because they're not in any protective gear. Right? So they didn't have anybody on the ground with the injector in any protective gear at all. So now they're screwed. They can't even go use it. So they have to run and hide behind this wall.
And masonry. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see what they said in that speech bubble? Jakara may not give us time to talk. He wants to fry us.
Yeah. He's become a veritable fire spewing.
We have all kinds of inside Battlestar Galactica references, people. So
that
don't
goes
mind
back.
us.
That goes back to the
scavengers, right?
Yeah. Fry him. That guy was a sick dude. I remember that one. Pepper's friend remembers. Yeah, so they are delaying him though for a little bit, and he's taking some fire pop shots at him. The thing that was once Jakara, half brother to T'Challa himself, turns to cast one more flaming bolt, and then continues on his way. Like, okay, so they're behind the wall and they're like screwed because JT, what are they gonna do now? Remember,
well, if they're behind the wall, there's nothing they can do. I guess they can try to apply for a green. I mean, whatever.
They're not going to have much left of a Wakanda if they don't get the hell out of there, and it's not going to matter. They don't have time to escape. But remember your prediction of what was going to happen?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. Do you want me to state it again?
No.
Okay. Well, I will, just because maybe someone would have joined us later. So I predict that T'Challa comes back home, sees a bunch of effed up stuff, sees a purple Hulk headed for this mound, and is like, okay, it doesn't take much to put two and two together. I have to start fighting him. He fails because this guy is magical at this point. So while Panther starts to lose, Joshua's going to do the stabby stab with the happy stuff, and then it'll weaken him enough that T'Challa will come back in and finish him off.
Yeah, you're almost got it right.
Okay. Well, let's see.
First, he gets this hilarious. He just pushes Joshua from behind, leapfrogs him. Just like, get out of the way, little man. I was like, wow. So Kirby's got, his sense of humor here, right? He interjects it quite often, every now and then, and then every now and then, it's just really funny. I think he's just having fun with it right here. I mean, I wouldn't have thought to have had Black Panther rushing to help. He just got there and he's like, what in the hell is going on? And he just leapfrogs over Joshua.
Yeah.
Like, okay, grabs the baton, and now he's racetracking it down.
He's doing it like a Heisman Trophy move here.
Yeah, but
he took the injector and returned it to T'Challa. This is where I get angry.
This is where
only I can use it properly, says Joshua. Wrong, cousin. He was briefed on what everyone was up to.
I'm like,
what?
When?
When
did that happen?
Why? Oh, so now we could just play that you know exactly what to do, even though you've been gone this whole time. Takes all the mystery, all the potential for hijinks, you know, all the room for mistake by the protagonist out. Well,
all you had
it just it pokes a huge hole in a balloon, Dave. I'm sorry, it does.
It does. No, I didn't like this part at all. It's like, when did you have time for that? God forbid any one of us would have told Kirby how to write anything, but it just doesn't make sense. All he had to do was say, T'Challa here. All you got to do is stick it into him really, really hard.
Yes. Yeah.
Catch.
The way this is written, it's completely unnecessary.
I don't know when he had time. So that was like off camera, completely off camera. So the child was like really hauling ass here, though.
Right.
Apparently, he had lots of time to talk with Ngasi about it, and maybe the panel didn't get put in the comic or something. You know what I mean? For some reason, like a panel or two was missing. I'm thinking that's probably what happened.
Maybe,
but that's the editor's job, right? To make sure that kind of thing doesn't happen. But anyway, yeah. So it could have been Kirby actually did draw it. We just don't know, to defend him. But so he's like, I couldn't believe my ears when I was told about Jakara, but there he is. I'm like, yeah, man. And he just comments on how stupid Jakara was. Of course, we already all know that he was just doing it out of greed and lust for power, right? That he was always just jealous of T'Challa to begin with. Spitefulness. It's bad. But he tries to sneak up on him, and for some reason it didn't work. He's like, boom, he drop kicks him instead of just trying to stabby stab him.
You're right.
And I was a little confused on this little POW panel. But I guess what happened was he just wanted to knock him off his feet, disorientate him, and then I guess T'Challa's just not realizing how strong this dude is, right?
Yeah.
He just got there. He hasn't caught on to that yet.
Well, he also doesn't have much point or much choice either.
Yeah.
Right.
I figured he would have just going to run up and stab him in the neck right from the beginning, but he chose the way of trying to knock him off his feet.
Yeah, or do a slide into home right in between the legs, like a 5-hole, and come up behind him and stab him in the neck, something like that.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's trying to do here. He tries to stab him in the neck with the thing, but now he realized that was a mistake because he should have just snuck up on him and done it, right? Like, did it really quick. But Jakara fights back. He did knock him down, though, so because Panther's got a hell of a kick. But a double flying kick probably would knock you over. But not for long.
Just as he tries to do this, he gets swatted away.
Yeah. And he's like crushes stone. He barely ducks. Right? Yeah. So now Panther's realizing that this dude isn't just a little wuss. And
but he cocks him one right in the side of the temple there.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, well, that's gonna take him out.
Well, yeah, the Black Panther suffers a blow that would kill a lesser man.
And your prediction would have been 100% correct if old boy would grab it now, right? Because Panther would have been knocked out cold if he was a lesser man. Well, we know that, but geez, Christ, Chikara hitting him like that should have probably took him out, right?
Right.
And he even says that his whole collarbone is shattered. All right. So now he's like, there's nobody there trying to help him. He's like all on his own. And old boy makes it to the mound, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what's gonna happen here? Who's gonna save the day? Is old boy who's gonna help him out? Well, nobody. Nobody's coming.
Exactly.
Like, nobody's gonna come help old boy out. So, like your prediction, I thought maybe you were gonna be right. Of course, I did read it, but when you said it, if I hadn't read it, I would have said, yeah, that makes sense. Because when he takes Panther out here, you would have thought somebody would have came to the rescue to help him out, right? Yeah. And I was thinking, could have been Jiru. Maybe that would have been his time, but nah, he's just a coffee dude. I just go get the coffee and the paper. I don't do stuff like that.
Or it could have been Medea, the big sister over there.
Yeah,
in the family.
Where's she at? Where all four of them at? But Panther gets his act together here a little bit, marshaling what strength is left. He puts all his effort to one final attempt.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how Kirby loves to do his shards. See all these little pieces of rock and everything flying around. I love that art from him. And he gets them from behind this time, which he probably should have snuck up on the first time, right?
Right.
But we wouldn't have got the action. Stabs him right in the chest. And then
interesting spot, but hey.
Yeah.
Boom.
Should have gone for the head, right? Did I beat everybody on that one?
Maybe.
Yeah. A kingdom of people who complain. Yeah. Or just talk a lot. And then do one thing. And then after the one thing, they talk a lot more, right? They'll go into action and then they gotta take a break. They can't do like 2 or 3 things at once, right? Or in a row. Right, JT? Like nobody came to help him. Literally. And he does stab him, like right up on the gut there. It's really, like you said, a really odd spot, having to reach all the way around after knowing how strong the guy is. And there's a very big explosion. The great vibranium mound is shaken by tremors. It cracks under the mounting stress. And we don't know what's happened here. So we're assuming, because there's like 5 more issues left, that he's okay. Or not. We might get a new Black Panther.
It's quite the well, it's not a cliff, but it's quite a hanger.
Yeah, it's quite a hanger, all right. And the next we get somebody called Kyber the Cruel.
Kyber Crystal the Cruel.
Ooh. What we got here? Ooh. Okay.
wait, was that Norse?
It looked a little bit.
Oh,
looked a little bit Thorish. Did it not? Whoop.
Battle axe. Oh, damn.
That looked a little bit Thorish. Anyway, yeah. So,
well, folks, cover art's better next week. What can I tell you?
I can tell you that at least the top part of it is, and an interesting development.
Yeah,
but an odd ending. That nobody came to help him. But I guess that's just the way it is. It's Black Panther, right? So he's got to do it on his own now. Mm-hmm. He told him to get back. I got to do this because I'm the one that's skilled, not you guys. Remember that?
Right.
He actually said that. Oh, boy. But, hey, man, Black Panther finally made it home and had to take on the dude because they weren't smart enough to have the damn pen on the floor and not in the helicopter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All 4 of them. That still cracks me up, dude. When I saw that, I was like, what in the hell are they doing? Why is the pen in the helicopter? And it's like, Maybe he did it to make him look silly, but he could have still had Panther show up, throw the pen, T'Challa here, catch, you know what I mean? Fly through the air, grab it, stabby stab, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's the private jet. It showed up now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there it is. It finally showed up, dude.
Oh, better late than never. So, Dave, my thoughts on this, if I may.
Absolutely. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm fading fast too.
I was looking at, thinking about last week and how little occurred in so many pages last week. It felt like it was treading water, and like a shark infested water too. It was not a pleasant place to be. This issue kind of does the same thing, and it resolves only one thing, that T'Challa is not in Wakanda, and now he is.
He finally made it home.
And out of all these other pages, did anything really happen?
Other than the fight scene, well, for 2 issues, we got the movie set scene. That was a surprise, right?
Yep.
We ran into 2 characters, the gangsters. Remember those guys? Yeah.
Yes.
And then that's how they talk. That's exactly how they talk in the comic, because they made reference to it, not us. Remember? They even made fun of it in the comic before we did. So we had full license to do it because they did it in the comic. And the only surprising thing would have been that one of those guys got deleted in the fire, right? That was shocking. But then the whole movie scene, he got saved by the movie set, but really that was just a stopover. He
fights, gets away, fights, gets away. Then we left off with fights.
Yeah, he beat up 2 aircraft.
And then this issue,
pilots.
He gets away. Then he has to fight those fighters
who were dressed in Arctic gear.
Yeah.
And he gets away. Yeah, so it's been 10. So now it's going to be interesting to find out what's going to happen with him. So the only big thing was that he made it home and had to fight that guy.
Kind of.
While the other 4 just sat there. A
first round fight.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole pen thing was, so I think somebody brought up the pen thing in the chat. Yeah, so old Joshua did put like some kind of electrical charge in the pen to go through the skin. So I brought that up so we wouldn't bash on him for that, because I was going to say, well, how the hell do you think you're going to get it through that dude's skin? Kirby got me on that one. He did say Joshua put in some extra, some kind of electrical current.
Right.
Charge,
which you can do.
Wow,
you can do to transmit medicine throughout the body.
It's like a shark spear when they, they boom, and it charges
like a TENS unit, kind of thing.
So that's how he did it.
So
just some weird stuff.
I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, why was this 2 issues at all? One could have gone and through and written this 2-issue set into one, and then it wouldn't have been so bad. It really would have probably gotten a solid B out of me, because even then it still would have been dragging with a little too much camp and stupid delay and improbability and questionable writing. It still would have probably had some of that, but it would have been much more forgivable, because just more was done in the number of pages allotted. And here it feels like it was stretched and padded.
Yeah.
It's 2 issues. And I just don't like that. I mean, there's nothing super, super offensive in any of it. Yeah, there are some plot contrivances, some cheap shots at the reader.
the whole Panther Mountain thing where he says that they never saw it happen. I'm like,
yeah,
that makes no sense. Even
right.
they were right behind you.
Right. So stuff like
that was weird. Yeah.
Stuff like that. If this were one issue, completely forget it. But honestly, that line probably wouldn't have made the cut.
No, I would not have allowed that line to stay in there because it doesn't make any sense. But
what are we left with then? Kind of an empty issue.
The good thing is
empty.
The good thing is that this whole thing with Chikara is over.
Yeah.
Right. And let's see what Tim. I know Tim had a comment earlier that I wanted to. Of course, when I'm showing the comic, I don't go back to. Yeah,
it's been a while.
It's contrivance. It's been too far. I can't find it. But yeah, Fanting brought up the whole pen thing. I wanted to go back and mention that. I think the pacing remember how great the pacing was the first 5, 6.
Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful.
Awesome.
It was beautiful. Awesome.
And I know how you are with some of the BSG. We can kind of catch on to when they drag things out too much.
Yeah.
Probably a whole issue.
And they kind of fell off a cliff with that here, didn't they?
Yeah, I think a whole issue could have been taken out of this. You could have put the whole movie scene, the fight with the pilots, and the ending all in one issue.
Yep, exactly.
If you wanted to draw it that way, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, who knows what they cut out and what they put in, especially that whole part of I just talked to Ngasi about the whole ink pen, the pen thing, and who knows if he'd have drew that and they didn't get put in because it seemed like there was something missing there, right? Like the whole scene was just missing.
Right.
And I just kind of wonder, instead of complaining, to try to defend it, like maybe he did draw it. I don't know. We will never know, right? But a glaring error. That's like just a glaring error between the editor and them or something. I don't know. But we always know. There's time. We always have in the back of our mind, folks, and everybody in the chat always knows this if they've been following us, that we understand there's time delays. There's time where stuff has to get done.
Time
you don't
crunch
have
too.
Time crunch. Something happens. Something may have inadvertently gotten destroyed by accident. Literally, right? The dog ate my homework type shit. You never know.
Right.
Back then, they had to either mail stuff in or hand walk it to the office. Right. This wasn't computerized crap. I'm just send it over on Apple on your Mac. Right.
Right.
This was hand drawn stuff. And it took a lot of work. It took a lot of effort, and although we're hard on it sometimes, we're only really hard on it when it's pretty obvious and easy to be hard on it. Right.
Yeah.
Some of it can be kind of silly and you just ask yourself, why? The humor, there was some humor in this one, not a lot though. Right. Him leapfrogging over Joshua was kind of funny. I was like, oh, that was kind of funny. My sense of humor, right, JT?
Right.
Oh, there's Buddy. Buddy, hey, Buddy, welcome.
Hey, Buddy Hepburn, great to see you.
Yeah. I'm on the Musketeers. They were
sideshow very quickly on that.
They were the Keystone Cops, right, guys?
Yeah. I thought
they helped out like once. They help out for just a little bit, and it seems effective, and it is, but only for just a little bit, and then they don't do shit, right?
Yeah, and I thought honestly they were filler this week. A lot of what Joshua found with the antidote, you could have done in 2 cells, right, and then just gotten to the point. He didn't do that at all. It was more expanded, and this whole rampage through the city. This is what, the 3rd or 4th episode, or 3rd or 4th issue rather.
Yeah,
I'm never going to stop saying
issues.
episode.
Yeah.
3rd or 4th issue where this thing is rampaging through the city. How much more rampaging through the city do we need to do? I get it. Like we
No,
all get it.
I
We all
think
were tired of getting it last week too.
last week. Yeah. So I think we could have combined at least the two issues, like I said, with the movie set, the fighter pilots,
Yep.
him leaving before even the movie set. When he left
Right.
when the old boy died, the old gangsta guy, from that point on, you could have eliminated a whole issue and come up
Yes.
with a whole different storyline. And you could have made a
Well,
whole quick story.
the movie
Something else.
set was fluff to begin with too,
Yeah.
because
It
it
was-
doesn't do anything that I know of. Later.
It just happened to save him. We get some new characters, which I always like, right? Introduction. They don't have to stay around,
Right.
but we get to meet some new people along the way. But that's kind of your point, my point. I think everybody else probably agree too. You could have squeezed all of that into one issue.
Yeah.
All of it.
And so I'm sitting here, Dave, and I'm thinking, we're relitigating the past, this issue and the last, and I can't even talk about the art because it doesn't really matter the way that it's written. And I don't feel like I can award a good letter grade for this, because it's not what the first, I would say the first 6 issues laid out for us in how high that quality
was. And for
was.
Fanti, this is 78, so he's probably even 61 or something by this point. And he probably is doing. He's writing it, he's drawing it,
Yeah.
And what else? And he's doing 3 things. He's not editing it though. So
the lettering,
Fanti, you're still here.
He's inking. I forget all the things he was doing.
I've got number 10 right here, so I got it right here.
Oh yeah.
I just don't have everything set up, so I don't.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Let's see.
No,
edited,
I
written,
take it back, everybody. He did edit it.
Edited, written, and drawn by Jack Kirby. Now, if you are the writer, I have a hard time thinking that you can also be the editor.
Well, they give him license because he's so damn good. Right?
But I'm just saying, logically, if you wrote a script and gave it to me, could you also be the editor on that script?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I don't think so. So maybe the editing was one of the last pieces. He was just trying to do some QC. Don't know. I don't know what disposition by Archie Goodwin is either.
I don't know. I don't know what they mean. I think that might be like editor in chief. Like Jim Shooter was BSG. He was the editor in chief, and he had other people helping editing, which I don't know why you need 2 or 3 editors for a comic book, but you know what I mean? I mean, if you're all back then, if you're all sitting there, but unless you have multiple projects, and we all know Kirby was doing multiple projects. This timeline, I don't know. But anyway, we finally get a conclusion to this part of it. The whole vibranium thing is I'd like to get into that more. I hope they get more into that.
Sure.
We'll see what happens. Wink, wink. I kind of know, but
the vibranium thing in his power being explained, I was making fun of it because this sonic vibration thing, it did not land very well. If you're going to be writing like a science fiction ability almost, you need to have it be more credible and less.
Yeah, I wish Clobby was around. He could fill us in on more of the Jack Kirby stuff. When I always try to backtrack on that so we don't seem too hard on the guy, because we love Jack Kirby. So, it's just the obvious things that just make you go, that doesn't make any sense. Like a couple of those.
The doomsday element of it was way too
overdone. It was a little too much.
It was almost lazy in the fact that it wasn't thought out in a way that a lot of people can buy into. Maybe I'm not a lot of people. Maybe I'm being really picky.
Or the Avengers to come back in, right, and to help out fight this guy, right?
Yeah,
and come up. That would have been exciting because we know he showed up in Fantastic Four 52.
Mhm.
So, and then he's an Avenger as well. But there's only 15 of these, I believe, right, guys? Hold on.
We are 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah. Only have 5 more. So they're going to have a whole nother two stories, maybe two different stories. We'll see
2 or
how it
3.
lines up.
I think 3. I think there's going to be a love story somewhere in here. So we haven't gotten
with
one
Storm.
yet.
You know he married Storm, right?
Well, whether it's Storm or not, we are going to get a love story, I predict, even if it doesn't work
we
out.
are going to get one character that most people probably already remember or are going to enjoy. Mm-hmm. So, Kirby worked. We all know he was just an absolute animal at times. That he was just working so.
Oh, he completed so many comics. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's incredible the stuff he's done and created people. Characters.
It would take a while to count in like a decade how many of them that he did, and I think if you looked 10-year period of him, and pick any 10 years to just count how many, you would be just absolutely blown away at how many comics he made.
Yeah. When I used to watch Clobby's Spinner Rack and all that stuff, or the Monday Mark C tribute show, or when Mark was still around, I just came onto the scene watching. I lurked for a long time. Never was even in chats. I had just missed Mark back then. And one of the things, Clobby, we all remembered, he would just show pictures of all those comics, and he would go pick through. And I would just sit there with everybody like, oh my God, I used to have that one or that one. Or, oh, I want that one. And he would pick, I'd get this one. I get that one. And it was just fun to sit there and do that for like an hour. I think on his Monday show or his Wednesday show. But yeah, if he was here, he could tell us more about Kirby and stuff like that. And Hungry Boy as well. But which I haven't heard from in a long time. If anybody's heard,
did you hear he made an appearance last night on Dadman's?
Hungry Boy did?
No, it was me. I played like a 20-second April Fool's joke on Dadman.
Oh, jeez.
I put something in there like, I forgot. It was like Hungry for Squirrels or something like that. Then I found a black and white of Ben Grimm and changed my avatar. So he didn't know who was coming in, because he, you could put whatever name you want in there, right? And then I just came in and I was like, crikey.
It's an interesting story how
Dingo ate my baby. Let's throw another shrimp on the barbie. If you do what I mean. And then they figured out right away that, I don't have a very convincing Hungry Boy. Unfortunately, love the guy. I wish I'd heard from him more, but I thought, what better way could I get in on Dadman than April Fool's him?
Yeah. I try to do one of those name change things and do a super chat on Nick Weiser, and I had changed my name to Dr. Shah Long to make him read it. Dr. Shah Long. And didn't catch on for a minute. And then for some reason I couldn't change my name back for like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. There's a limit on how many times you could change it.
So I was stuck with Shah Long for like 2 weeks. And
everybody's getting emails from Shah Long.
Yeah. And then I went to Dave C, because C is the beginning of my last name.
Right.
And then I felt weird because Mark D with a C, but he thought it was funny. And then because of the Mark C that had been on Clobby Show, I thought that was weird, and I thought I'd change it, but nobody claimed it or said anything to me about it, because there's just too many Daves and Dave C's. Like even on X, there's like I think there's even a guy who's called his Mark D with a Mark C with a D or something. Mark D with a C. Yeah, I can't even say it right. There's a guy on X. So we have Mark D with a C, our friend. And then there's another dude on Twitter who has like a Mark D and a C. or something.
Well, then
like
there's
that.
probably a Mark A with a B.
Well, then I
Mark
found
B
a guy
with a C. Mark
a
C
Dave.
with
There's
a
a
D.
Dave C.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to change my. Remember, I was telling you I need to change my name to like the Gorns Gonads. But that's copyright. Gorn's copyright.
Yeah.
Not like I'm going to have 1 million followers, but you know what I'm saying. If I ever did, for whatever reason. Yeah, and Kirby, don't. And I think everybody here knows we're not mean about it. We're just picky on some of the issues that
we are. But the first 5 were so great.
Oh, I think
that you kind of made us picky, right?
No, they were all A's.
Yeah.
I mean 1 B plus, but yeah. But you never. I mean, these guys. Kirby was older, worked a lot. They get tired and stuff too. So,
well, no.
I
understand about that, but
great
he
still.
I understand. He probably had health issues and his own personal things, but he also finished this work. So,
yeah. Wink, wink. But all right, guys. I mean, these comments are awesome, dude. Like, these are really good thinking comments for everybody.
I am curious to know what Kyber the Cruel means because I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
it's a mysterious title.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah.
So, well, if anyone hasn't guessed already, I'm not going to award a very good score for this. I would give it a C plus, Dave.
Yeah, I figured you were going to give it a C. That's probably what I'll do. I mean, the art was fine, other than I guess the Josh one threw you off a little bit.
Yeah, I thought it was a woman.
Yeah, I thought you were joking at first.
No. And then you looked at it a little bit sideways, right? And you're like, I can see what JT's talking about.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, he's serious.
yeah, no, I was serious. So anyway, I give it a C plus.
Yeah, I did not really give this one a grade. It was good. I mean, it was okay. You know what I mean? It's just dragged out. I was kind of done with the Kara thing, to be honest with you. I was like,
right.
Can we just get rid of this dude? Can Panther get home? We want Panther. We all want Panther to get home, right? Can he finally make it?
Well, and who we haven't heard from are the Despicables.
Yeah, I want Abner. I want little Abner Abner Little come back.
Right?
That would be great.
It's almost like, why don't you launch your nuke, lady? Because maybe your nuke will take care of, the Purple Hulk.
Oh, thanks, Dave C plus. Nice. Yeah, I kind of want to see. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't remember that he goes back and gets a little bit of revenge on Santa for that. That one's kind of for me. I ain't probably letting that one go. You ain't sticking no nuke in my country, buddy, and get away with it like that. Not in the comics. He could always go back and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Pow. Right? Remember me?
Yeah.
And then he disarms it and takes all her power away or something. You know what I mean? Yeah,
possibly.
That's likely not. That's not going to happen. But it would be fun for him to go get revenge on her of all the people, right? And I think it would have been fun if Abner Little shows up just for old nostalgia's sake. I
am really worried T'Challa is going to turn very isolationist because he left and it was so hard for him to get back. He had a bad experience in that whole epic.
Yeah.
And then his whole kingdom went to pot.
He ain't going to be wanting to leave anytime soon. That's for sure.
Right.
He made a comment, I don't care about the world and its problems. I got my own problems. He said that in the comic, pretty much. It's not verbatim, but that's what he said, right?
Yep. And until I know better, I'll take him at his word.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting now that we've concluded this part, what's going to happen next, how it's going to go. Maybe this will be like a break and it's a little more faster paced stuff. But what do you got going on so we can get you out of here? 1:45.
Sure. So Friday, if I can stay awake, I will be hopefully hanging out with Mark D with the C on some late night Fortnite. And then Saturday, I will be doing a another episode of Saving Star Trek with the great Admiral Teague. And we are doing a classic Star Trek Enterprise Season 2 episode with
really?
some eye candy.
Uh-oh.
So,
green eye candy?
crew-based eye candy.
Ooh, red. She wearing red?
No.
It's not Nurse Ratched?
No, there may be a decontamination procedure that needs to be followed.
Stuff we never
I don't want
got
to give
in
away
VSG.
too much. I don't want to give away too much.
Okay.
I mean,
you got my
they
interest.
almost did, but I won't. So,
Well,
so yeah, that's
you never got any decontamination in BSG comics, that's for sure.
yeah,
Well, just like that one. I remember one time they did for just a
they
minute.
did, but I feel like the windows were down and they didn't wash their hands afterwards, and they ate a bunch of raw eggs and were like,
Yeah, security and decon was pretty lax in that show.
Yeah.
Well, at least in the comics.
That's where I'll be the next rest of the week. And
Cool.
then I don't, follow me over there so you know where I am the next week, because I'm in talks and I don't think I can reveal anything else. So that being said, thank you, Dave.
No, thank you as always. And tomorrow night I have Spawn at 10 p.m. Eastern. Third season. And I think it's first and second episode of the third season. Yeah. I can't remember the actual number, but it doesn't matter. It's third season of Spawn. That's such a kick-ass show, JT. Do you remember watching it?
I never watched it.
Oh, dude, it holds up. It holds up. Anybody out there? It's the HBO animated. I think Buddy had popped in. Maybe Phantom Tim comes and hangs out with me. And Buddy did last week. Thank you for that. Phantom, you can stop by, man, if you remember that. Like I said, it is the third season already, but it doesn't matter. Just watching any of those episodes, the artwork, Keith David's voice is so good as Spawn, man. It is brutal, right, buddy? I mean, last week's episode or the one before, what did we do? We do 2 last week, and the one they had this, I shouldn't even say it, SERIAL killer on there, right?
Oh,
and he was
Fruit Loops, the leader. Yes.
He was a sick, not a good, it's a pretty brutal show. But I wish they had got another.
So it's a great thing if you're 18 plus, you could head on there and check it out.
Night,
no
kids,
right?
No kids tomorrow. Absolutely not. It's 18 up. But yeah, that's tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Geez, 10 p.m. Eastern. And then if I can stay awake Friday, because you guys didn't have Fortnite last week because the Fortnite was down.
Was it? I don't even remember. I was
Sea of Thieves.
I was not there on Friday.
Sea of Thieves. What do you guys call it?
Oh, the other game is Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, so they played that. Mark played that instead.
Yeah,
last week. I fell asleep, and then geekery too. I woke up. It was like 2 hours in. It's like they were doing foodery.
I saw some of his Thursday show, and I think I won a raffle. But I fell asleep listening to the show before I won. So I woke up and listened to some of the replay, and Mark D with the C's like, congratulations to JT Kirk. I'm like, oh, thank you. Because it was one of those shows where I didn't want to miss it. And then just, you wake up 3 hours later and the stream is done. Like, damn, I missed it.
Yeah.
So.
No worries. And that's it. Yeah, I'll be on Fortnite if I'm awake.
You got it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And then Sunday night geekery, maybe stop by and say hi to you guys for Saturday night, depending on what's going on. So other than that, Buddy, Phantom, FKHC 2005, Dad Man, and maybe somebody had popped in. I know there was a few people watching, so thank you so much for lurking. I know Diamond Say was lurking, but the usual suspects, you guys are awesome as always, funny, and some really good comments tonight. about the story and Kirby and stuff like that. Like this one about action heroes. It's just really thought out comments, and funny stuff. It makes the night really, really worth it to have you guys here, and you, JT, as always. So, because I didn't have any coffee tonight, I was like, ooh, but anywho, I guess with that being said, I wish everybody a good night. And if you pop in for tomorrow for Spawn, awesome. If not, see you next week. Bye.
Well,